I love the hell out of it. I didn't care what anyone thought.
Yeah, I definitely love Pokemon.
In Ireland, though, if you like Pokemon after yellow and red and blue, you were considered like
Did I ever tell you about? We had a neighbor who was in his 40s who used to come play Pokemon with us.
Really?
And he would dress like Ash Ketchum.
No, you're fucking with me.
I swear to God, and he painted his pet rat yellow. It was crazy.
Shut the fuck up, Zach.
And one time when he lost, he picked up his pet rat and threw it in the ground.
You could have kept that going. You jumped right.
I did.
You jumped right to the crazy part.
You jumped right. You fell right into my trap.
No,
right into my claw.
He won a costume contest at the game place.
I got you instantly.
You did not.
But
that really did happen.
A 40-year-old man walked into your house dressed as Ash Ketchum.
I thought this was like a Chris Chan thing. I thought you were gonna go like he started like screaming.
His yellow rat with red cheeks. He would electroshock it too.
This reminds me of a screensaver I used to have on Windows 98.
Of an old lady crying?
No, it was like a haunted mansion.
for her dead child.
It was a haunted mansion. It would make scary noises, and one time my dad's friend's daughter visited from England, and I left the computer on. It scared the shit out of her at nighttime because it was making all these scary noises.
Oh.
When did you stop believing in Santa? Let me guess. I never believed Santa. I'm too smart.
I would imagine the first time I saw my parents.
Really?
Yeah. When did you see them?
What do you mean? You mean see them laying out the presents?
Yeah.
My mom and dad broke it to me one day when I was out on town with them.
They broke down crying and said, "We can't lie to you anymore."
No, they laughed in my face.
Oh my god.
No. What? Did they rub it in? Like, haha, your hopes and dreams are gone.
It was me, my mom, and my sister, and we were out shopping. My sister said something about Santa not being real, and then I said, "Wait, what?" And then they both looked around at me slowly and then started laughing in my face. And I was like, what the hell? And it broke my heart.
I'm sorry, your innocence was dashed, Chris.
It gotta happen at some point.
I really hate that video where it was the prank and the dad has the Xbox box that he gives to his kid. And I think it's just clothes inside, right?
That's not funny.
They do that to screw with him. He just starts crying, and they're like, "Oh, he's crying." It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, don't fuck with the kid.
Yeah, I've never found that kind of shit funny.
I think it was for Christmas too, right?
Yeah.
That one's awful. I hate that one.
Ugh. The worst thing to get a little boy on Christmas is fucking clothes. Little boys want Xbox.
Get him on damn Xbox.
In school, we used to have textbooks like for like, I don't know, math, English, and Irish. And in the English one specifically, there was short stories that were like made up.
In the dark.
No, they were like made up or printed off the internet by the teacher. Like he would write stories for The Simpsons and shit.
What?
Where it'd be like
Oh, or did you just mean like test questions?
No, like, not even. It was like he wrote out his own little Simpsons stories. Now that I think about it, like
not like
I don't know why
Homer
he did
has 3 donuts and Lenny takes 2.
No, it wasn't like that. It was literally a short story that we were supposed to study. It was like Homer and Marge and Maggie are all in the living room.
Like
Santa's
it was like a
little helper.
memory thing, like, oh, did you remember how many fingers she held
No,
up?
that's
Like-
what it was a grammar test. That's what it was. We were supposed to find grammar mistakes.
Okay.
But we used to fucking just be idiots and just cross out words and just replace them. So it'd be like, Homer fucked Maggie. Homer threw Maggie into the fire.
Is that how you came up with the Sixons?
No, it's not. It's just literally something that we used to do with everything. We would cross out words in our English books and replace verbs and words so that they were just disgusting porn. And one time the teacher found it and he got really fucking mad and he kicked my friend out of the classroom even though I was the one who did it.
Aww.
And I felt bad, but I didn't feel bad enough. You know what? I was an asshole, okay? I was a teenager.
It's okay. Anyways,
hey, he did shitty things to me too. I don't care. Be nice.
Be nice. I feel like that's
It's
good
okay,
advice.
Chris. We're escaping this region now, except I chose teleport by accident! Ah!
I don't know if I ever told the story of my friend Sean Kiley when we were he was a new student in my school at the time. This was his first year of like in my school. And he came in and like in the middle of high school essentially, so we were like 16 meeting each other. But he came in and we were doing we were doing transition year, which means it's a year off and you don't really have to do much except come into school and just like just chill. Like it was just a year off, but you still have to go to school and do bullshit. But we had art class, and we were all given big wooden boards to lean on for the paper and shit. And he just drew this massive, veiny, hairy cock on it with a huge permanent marker.
Oh,
it was like super thick outlines. There's no way he'd be able to like cross it out or like rub it out or anything. He just drew this fucking gigantic cock on it, and everyone was laughing at it because it was so funny looking.
It would be funny, especially in permanent marker.
But I don't know what he was expecting, because we all left the class. He flipped the board over so the teacher wouldn't see, right? Until it was too late. But then we were all in
Were you there when the teacher saw?
No.
Okay.
No, we were all in our like hub classroom where we have to go and sit and eat lunch or whatever.
Sure.
And the big tall scary teacher walked in who taught Irish, and he was pretty much the disciplinary teacher because he was like old and scary.
Yeah.
And he walked in and he was like, "So we have a bunch of artists here, do we?" And we were just like, "Yes, sir." He's like, "So I'm going to be I'm gonna be calling."
You thought he was complimenting you?
No, yeah, exactly. He's like, "I'm gonna be calling you all out individually, and we're going to be lining you up outside, and I'm going to ask you one by one who did it, and you know what it is." And we're just like, "Oh fuck." So like every single person was getting lined up, and the first person he picked was Sean. So Sean just went in and like instantly caved. He was like, "Yeah, I did it. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry." He got sent home and he got a disciplinary, and he literally had to tell his mom and dad in school what he did.
Golly.
They brought his mom and dad in, and they were just like, "Go on, Sean, tell him." It's like, I drew this big, massive penis on the board.
Did he draw it well, or was it like
It was funny. It
average, like just kind of like, oh, they
it
don't
was
know
a
how to
big
draw a dick?
nasty cock. Like it was not pleasant, but it was really funny because Sean's like art looks funny. It's just silly.
Yeah.
So it looked like a big deformed cock, but it was great.
I wish I had
That's a
fun
good story.
school stories, because everything in like our school system when I was younger was just a mess.
No, my school experience was mostly terrible. I've never been so miserable in my whole life as waking up for school. I hated it.
I've been recently like thinking back to a lot of it and how I'm kind of surprised by it. For example, they had keyloggers on the computers. That was their security system that they used at our high school.
That's
they
not
were
good.
keylogging
No, it's not.
everyone, and it was automatically taking screenshots. I found out about it because it was in the C drive, and you could access it through the browser.
Wow.
And they were taking screenshots of everyone's computer for like every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was tracking every keystroke you made, and they were just monitoring kids like actively, which obviously that
And then
part's
that
normal.
system got taken advantage of.
Yeah, that's what happened, is that a bunch of kids found out about it, and they started going in and messing with kids' like email accounts and everything.
Ooh.
And the fact that they had a keylogger running already, like,
Yeah,
that's probably why
that's
they
illegal.
suspended the
That
kids.
is illegal, yeah.
Because, yeah, that's not a legal thing to do, but they did it anyways. We had lots of stuff like that always happening at our school. Like, it just didn't function.
Letting kids have access to computers in school is kind of a bad idea.
Well, that too.
Kids are smart. Kids figure out code and
Yes,
shit real
probably
quick.
smarter than you.
Yeah.
So you
I
can't...
mean, certainly during that time. 'cause
Yes, because
I
technology...
I feel like things might have changed since then. I think people are more computer literate in general, but like when I think our generation was growing up, you kind of assumed that adults didn't know how to use computers, yeah? Mm. Would you say that?
Yeah.
Maybe that was just my experience.
No, that's exactly what it was like. There was that window where no one really knew how to do anything with technology. But yeah, that was a thing that happened, and I didn't think about it when I was a kid because it was just like, oh god, oh that's awful, I don't want to get in trouble because I know about this or anything. But now that I think about it, it's like, okay, the reason anyone probably got in trouble is because, yeah, they wanted to cover that up. They didn't want that to get out there that, yes, they were monitoring what kids were like emailing. They
Yeah.
were able to get their direct information off of that if they wanted to, and could get onto their accounts for things. Like, that's horrible that they had that system running. I couldn't believe it.
Now, was this the normal school or was this that other school?
No, this was a normal high school. This was just a public high school, and it's in like a rich community and everything too. So it was pretty crazy that they were doing that to the students there. Shocker, she said.
Our school had a thing called the language lab, which was just a room full of computers that we learned French in. And I was the guy who showed everyone how to use Microsoft Sam and make him say shit. But then this one guy sitting next to me wouldn't stop doing it. He kept making him say really dirty shit.
Oh.
And then the teacher got mad. She threw her language lab at me.
Chris, did you have computer lab technicians ever mess with you?
No.
Because I remember at one point...
Oh, I miss my computer teacher. Wait, go on.
When I was in class one time, a kid was showing me something in the browser as I was writing a paper, and all of a sudden I get logged out, and I thought like he hit a hotkey or something.
Yeah.
So I'm typing my paper, and all of a sudden they hit Control A to like select everything. They delete it, and they save the file and close it and log me out again.
Wow.
And they ended up like typing into the login screen a message at me, and I remember typing back like, "I'm writing a paper in class right now. Knock it the hell off." And I actually got called into the principal for that because the guy was so furious about it. But it's like, what the fuck? Like, you went and you're gonna delete...
Wait, you mean staff was doing that?
Yes,
and you got in trouble?
I got in trouble for it.
That's right.
Stuff like that was always happening. It's why, like, I don't have fun school stories. It was just really suspicious behavior like that. And just kids kind of getting in trouble because they were figuring out how much of a mess the school system was.
I gotta say, getting unfairly in trouble in school is... Nothing will make you hate the system more.
It's true.
Like, there was points when I had teachers who would discipline me, and I knew I fucked up, and I'd be like, you know what,
Yeah, but then you take it on the chin because you did it.
Yeah, I screwed up, I'm sorry. But then there's other times... Like that's what happened with the computer, with my computer teacher. Like one time I was fucking around, she gave me detention or whatever, and I was like, fucking shit, it's not fair. But then later on, I'm like, I was being a cockhead. But then there was times where you would get in trouble for something like you didn't do, or someone else is sitting next to you, like talking to you, and you're like, can you stop? And then the teacher will like yell at you and give you detention, and it'll just make you hate them. Make you be like, you're fucking with my life and it's not my fault. Why are you doing that?
This is definitely not as serious of an example, but I remember in grade school, they were teaching crocheting for our school. They didn't have like electives or anything, but you got the class was called handiwork or something like that. And so we were learning to crochet, and I accidentally said crochet, but like it wasn't on purpose because I was a little kid. I didn't swear back then. And the teacher was furious with me, and I still got in trouble for it. I couldn't convince her that I didn't do it.
I had the same thing happen, and I got kept at school the entire day to the point that my mom even showed up and was saying, like, he's coming home with me. He's not staying here for this, because they thought they heard me say a swear in the hallway that I didn't say, and I didn't even know why I was in trouble. And they were trying to get me to, like, admit it the whole time, so I had no idea what was even going on. And I think I was kept until, like, 4:30 or something. Like, it was a few hours after school had ended, until finally, like, I just got pulled out of there. But that's why I wish I had fun stories. This is the stuff that always happened. We had, in middle school, there was a kid who smeared his shit across all the lockers one day, and then pulled a fire alarm. Because he was about to get in trouble. The whole school got called together in, like, the auditorium about it.
Oh, you told me that before.
Yeah, and then he pulled the fire alarm, so everyone just left. But stuff like that was always happening. Like, everybody there, it just felt like it was just constant chaos.
I had a guy in my school who pissed his pants just because someone told him to. They're like, you should piss yourself. And he was like, okay, and he did it.
Well, he's a real funny guy.
He was also the same guy who wrote his name on the toilet with shit.
I mean, kids would do dumb stuff like that, too.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, yeah, it's funny. Well,
this music to that visual is hilarious.
What, him smearing his shit around? With really upbeat music?
And then that is the shit falling back in the toilet.
That's the teacher catching him and he's running away.
And that's teacher grabbing him by the neck.
That's them screaming at him.
Punching him on the head. And now the teacher wins.
The child's been knocked out.
No, he's back.
What was the most trouble someone at your school got in?
My friend, my best friend for the first 3 years, he used to get in trouble every day. He, like, I don't know, like, you know what, I also had 3 people in my class, all called Steven, and they were the worst in the class. They were the ones always getting in trouble. And, one of them, he was the science teacher for my first year. He was so mean to one of those Stevens, and like the Steven was actually like a nice guy, but he just got in trouble a lot. But the teacher was so brutally mean to him that one time he started shaking and his face turned like blood red, like really dark red, and the teacher was like making fun of him while this was happening. And then I think Steven said something along the lines of, "I hope your house burns to the ground," or something like that. And I shit you not, that year his house burned to the ground.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I wonder if he did it.
No, he didn't do it. It was because the teacher was an alcoholic.
Oh.
And he just like fell asleep with the oven on or something.
There is justice sometimes.
I remember a bunch of kids in class thought it was really funny to hold your breath until you passed out, so the one did it, and then when he collapsed, he cracked his head on the radiator and had to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
I don't know
Like
why.
literally cracked his head.
Yes, like it actually, his skull got cracked open and he ended up getting pulled out and got sent to the hospital. I don't know why you would do something like that. But that's really, you deserve that in full if you're going to be tempting fate like that. You should not be trying to just pass out for no reason, just for fun.
There's a weird, like, sad truth that I'd say 10% of teachers really want to help kids, and the other 90% are just failures who are stuck in that job.
Probably.
We had a teacher in our 1 grade, and she actually got fired because she was intentionally avoiding working. She would tell everyone to go read books,
Yeah.
and then she would just leave the room, and sometimes she didn't even come in.
Is that the same teacher where you were reminded of her because of the new Undertale thing?
What?
How you said that you had a teacher that was looking at porn in class?
That was different, but that one was pretty bad too.
Oh boy.
That one was pretty bad too. Lots of stuff. They lied to us that 9/11 didn't happen. I remember that was a thing. They told everybody for like 2 months straight that it wasn't real because they didn't want the kids to be upset.
That's kind of funny, but not really.
Jesus.
I have a serious appreciation for teachers who actually care.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, definitely.
Because when you have them, you really appreciate them.
Yeah, and you
too.
remember them for the rest of your life.
Yeah, because I can remember teachers who cared. I always really liked them. I was good friends with a lot of the like tech department.
Yeah, I had like 1 or 2 really good teachers that I really care about and were super kind, but the rest were just like washed up pieces of shit who seemingly liked to just be horrible to kids. It was just like, fuck you. But,
oh, are you gonna go with something?
I was gonna say, what, like, have you ever seen that video on YouTube of the guy? He's in, like, the classroom, and he's like, I'm so fucking sick of you handing out packets. You need to, like, touch these kids. You need to actually get on their level and, like, speak to them and teach them, not just fucking hand out packets. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, wow, that really is relatable. That's just, like, what most teachers are. They just sit there and, like, just throw something at you and make you do it, and they don't care.
That's what they call busy work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember this too. We had a technology course, and the idea was that we had to learn how to use Perl, which is like a command line thing that you have to do for networking, like if you want to get into a FTP, if you want to upload files and everything. And we were supposed to use that to...
Is that like Perforce?
I don't know how to really explain it in a way that would make too much sense, but it was a thing that we were supposed to learn just for the sake of uploading files to the school system. And we did not get taught how to actually do it. We got told that we had to do it, but he said nothing to us about it. It wasn't in the book or anything either. He just expected us to do it. And what ended up happening was that I ended up just finding that he had the file uploaded already, and I hate saying this. I'm sorry I'm admitting this, but it's what ended up happening.
Oh, you should be playing the game.
Yeah, I should be.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry I stopped for a second, but I ended up just taking his file and showing it to everybody so they could re-upload it, and I showed them how to use Perl because he wasn't teaching anybody how to do it. And it was really fucking frustrating having a teacher who wouldn't actually teach the class.
I had a business teacher who literally taught no one anything. He just sat up there.
It happens.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes they will just expect you to go through the book on your own and just sort of sit there and hand you tests.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
No, he came in on the first day in first year business, and he put a, like, profit and loss sheet in front of us. Just like, just do that. We're like, what? How? And he's like, figure it out. We're like, okay.
Thank you.
I literally never learned how to do it because I just drew on paper in his class, and he didn't even care. I just literally, I wasted all that fucking time drawing on paper.